boys and girls, welcome back to Midgame Life Crisis. I'm Inconsistency.
I'm Werewolf.
And welcome back to our monthly episode of our podcast, MLC podcast, episode 8.
Yeah.
Indeed. We got a lot to talk about today.
Following last month's short edition.
Yeah, exactly. We feel like we kind of owe you guys a bit more of our bullshit this time around. So, yeah.
We owe ourselves.
Yes, as well. This is mostly for us, to be honest. This podcast for us and our tight niche group of friends. Anyways, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna start with the usual, though. You know what it is.
Timestamps.
Use the timestamps, guys, to skip to the subject that you do not enjoy, like the next one we're gonna talk about, our only reoccurring segment, our monthly BG3 update.
And last.
Oh, let's go. Werewolves.
I finished the game.
You finished it?
I finished the game.
You finished Baldur's Gate 3?
Last fucking night.
Oh my fucking Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me?
That's why I was on edge, to fucking tell you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how many hours did you invest in this game?
I think 300.
You can see in the Steam, you know.
Yeah, it was 270 a while ago. It's probably around the 300.
Do you count in that the time that the game was like just...
Yeah, because Steam counts that.
Yeah,
there's no way for you to know.
I'm asking you, do you count that?
No, there weren't a lot of times that I left
the game just left
running.
it in the
Yeah,
background.
that doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, okay. So around 300, roughly around 300 hours.
Yeah.
That's for a single player game, for one playthrough.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, bro.
I had to fight myself not to start a second playthrough.
Wow. Yeah, it's that good.
I do want to start another one, but I decided to try something else first then go back.
Even though, and
also
also
forget a bit,
Yeah, we will talk about this after this because the modding scene of BG3 is exploding.
Exactly. Next run will be modded for sure.
Yeah.
And there's also, I have a couple of 3 more friends that want to do like a co-op run, so I'm gonna be playing it anyway.
Yeah. So so now that you finished the game,
hold on. First the romance.
Yeah. Okay.
So fucking mad, bro.
You miss so much sex.
So fucking mad, bro. So remember how I told you she wasn't putting out basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That it just wasn't happening, and it was weird.
Yeah.
I was in the final stretches of the fucking third act.
Yeah.
I was telling myself, no, this can't be by design. So I was reading up online.
I mean, I was literally laughing about it for like 2 months straight.
Yeah.
About how your character still hasn't gotten.
Well, apparently it's a bug.
Yeah, you told us this last time.
No, this is something we spoke about privately.
It
was not in the podcast. No. Okay. Last episode, I was still not getting some, and you were making fun of it.
Oh yeah. I even written zero rees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. So yeah. So
it wasn't my fault.
It was the game. It was the bug.
Yes.
Ridiculous, man.
I don't know what genius thought this was the way to do it, but I had to go through the cutscene of having the night with my partner, and I decided this needs to be in some place specific, like a waterfall. All right? So when you get to Baldur's Gate, there's no waterfalls. It's a fucking city. So if you don't get the cutscene previously in camp, then your whole fucking relationship is on hold until you go camping.
Wait. Let me get something. Let me get something straight here. Are you not able to? Because I haven't gotten that far in the game. Are you not able to drop the current romance and go try someone else instead?
Yeah, just like real life, you can talk to whoever you want.
No, but I mean in the game though.
Yeah, but characters in the game have already shown interest in me. And I was like, nah, I'm with that one.
Oh, so you're loyal to someone who wasn't even putting out?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, bro.
I'm playing a fucking paladin. They're supposed to be like a straight arrow.
Oh, okay. I guess that does make sense role-playing wise. Yeah, and you are a D&D.
I am role-playing my characters.
Yeah, you're a D&D dude through and through, man. I can't blame you.
Hardcore, always.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even I do.
It's like a friend of mine that was waiting for me to finish because he wants to discuss, the ending or whatever. So he asked me, so did you load and try the different ending options, of stuff? And I was like, what? No, why would I do that? And he was like, so you can see all the kinds of endings there are. And I was like, but they're not fit for my character. She's only going to choose one thing.
Yeah, you're a very straight arrow when it comes to playing these games, which I don't fault you. It's a very cool.
This is what's fun for me in the second playthroughs. Doing things differently.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. It's just such a huge game
Oh yeah.
There's so many endings, and they add.
That's a part of what was holding me back trying the second playthrough. It took me 10 months to complete one run. I didn't want to commit another 10 months right now.
We should probably mention that since last time we talked, they added like a huge patch.
Oh yeah.
That added new endings, even more endings for the evil
endings,
right?
Yeah. Which was criticism from the community, which they took to heart.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
This company.
This patch has no economic incentive, right? It's a single-player game. It's not a live service. People who played it or bought it are not going to buy another one, all right?
Yeah.
People who haven't bought it yet are either probably not going to, or they're going to want to. If they want to play it, they're going to get it anyway, with or without the patch.
No, I mean it does. People will buy the game.
Sure, I'm saying there's no one who was on the fence now, and now that the patch is giving an evil ending, is going to make. Oh, okay, now I'm getting the game.
Yeah, I see what you. But what they will get when they eventually buy the game is an even more complete game, an even more technically proficient game.
Sure, you can always say this is content, and adding content adds to the value. Sure,
of course.
Sure.
Of course.
They changed existing cinematics.
That's crazy.
Like made them better. I reloaded one of the cinematics, all right, and it's so much better.
That's crazy. Not a lot of games do that. Not a lot of companies change cinematics for a patch. That's like very rare.
Of existing content.
Yeah.
You know what kind of company does that? A company that actually values its product.
And its customers as well.
Even if the customers are not in the picture, they see this as their artistic form. They created something for the world, 100%, for history.
100%.
They wanted to look the best it can be.
Yes, but
this is the incentive.
Yes, but how do they know what things they need to fix? They get feedback from the community, like you said. And that's why I'm saying they also respect the opinion of their community. They respect the consumers, which is very rare in today's reality. Extremely rare, actually.
Sure, but I get
Blizzard used to be like that, remember? Like 20 years ago? 15 years ago? They used to be like that.
20 and more.
No, it's been 15 years, something like that. Let's not exaggerate. The fall of Blizzard, the real fall has
Activision.
been Activision Blizzard. In the last 10 years that's when we started to see them really fall from grace. But yeah, so staying on target. What's your overall opinion? Now I can finally ask you, because you fucking finished the game. What's your overall opinion about this game? Give it a fucking score. I want a score.
Oh, I hate numbering these things. But it's true. People think that it's so simple to take something as complex and as an entire game with so many intricacies and so many fine details, caveats or whatever, and just give it a number? How does that even reflect?
I'm still asking
The graphics are not the most perfect in the world. Okay?
So what? Sure. Okay.
So in graphics-wise, do I have to give a score? And then let's talk about story, and then let's talk about gameplay, and then let's talk about mechanics.
No, but that's why I'm not asking you specifically on each category.
The game is amazing. I enjoyed it immensely. I put 300 hours into it, and I want to put 300 more. I had to stop myself from doing it.
Is it the best game you played in your life? Is it top 5?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
That's for me that's the closest I can get to a score from you. That it's that high up in your mind.
But that's because the type of game is up my alley.
Oh, sure. But hey, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. It's like I'm asking your opinion, not the general opinion. And if in your opinion this is one of the best games you ever played, that's all I want to know. I'm not asking.
I'm not saying the question is wrong. I'm saying that when I talk about a game, even a game I love this much, if I have negatives to say about it, I think they need to be said, because someone who listens to this and is not sure if they want to try the game,
yes,
they won't have exactly my taste.
Okay,
they should know what they get.
Sure. I think if they listen to all of this,
they
already know who you are, what your type is, and how. So with all of that considered, would you give it a ballpark of roughly a score for those people who, like me, who enjoy scores, to give them a bit more of a reference point or whatever? I don't know. Like you said, it's one of the top games you've ever played, the top 5 games
that I enjoyed.
Yes. So
yes.
For you, it could be an 8 or a 9.
Oh, sure. I was that was my point of contemplation. If it's an 8 or a 9.
Okay.
There's a lot between 8 and 9.
Even with the bug that happened, you can't stay,
which infuriated.
Yeah, you can't stay angry on these guys because the game is so deep and complicated.
Sure.
That it makes sense that they miss something like that.
Yes,
it makes sense.
The level of detail is amazing.
Yes, there's so many branches. Splitting branches in decisions you make, and it affects everything that happens later. This is so hard to design and develop. I don't think I'm not a developer, okay, but I did do a very small project back when I was a student. I made a very small project with a company that made videos online that are interactive videos that have branches choices, that you have choices for everything you do, and by the choices everything else changes. Right, the ending changes, everything changes. Exactly the same, like mechanics. Exactly. Right, Black Mirror. There was a Black Mirror episode that you could choose what you do. So we did something like that. The students did something like that with this program, and I really put my heart into it because I really like that kind of stuff. And it was very, very tough, man. I had to sit with a paper and really draw it out and see how it goes and how this
flowchart.
Yes, and then you gotta shoot every fucking scene.
Yeah,
you need your actors to it takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
it takes preparation, and this was a very, very small 5 minutes scene.
Yeah,
bro. So imagine
and now 3 acts.
Yes, exactly. With animators, dozens of animators and programmers, everyone needs to do their part in order to change something small in the whole game. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
That's why it's a giant fucking Lego palace. And if one of the pieces is wrong, sometimes a whole segment collapses.
That's why I can't stay mad. I didn't get damaged by this bug, but it's hard to stay mad at them, even though it's really infuriating. I agree with you. It's hard to stay mad at them that they missed something that small, like the fucking waterfall. No waterfalls in the city. Someone didn't think about that. Big fucking deal. It happens with such a huge project. If the overall experience is so good, it's okay as long as they fix it eventually.
No, I didn't. Sure, but I didn't hold them against them.
Yeah,
this company is dear to me right now because you can see they make the extra effort.
Yes.
How many companies do you know that not have only made their game very friendly and moddable?
Oh yeah, right? Let's move on to the mods.
They have implemented an in-game mod browser and installer.
That's crazy.
The game manages your mods. It tells you what it needs to run with, and if you need to install another mod, and everything is really, really simple. For me, like for Skyrim, for example, loading your mods, getting the mods correctly, having a modded game set up takes hours.
Yeah.
And know-how, and some savvy, and it's such a headache.
Yes, even today you need to download some.
And this will work for consoles too.
Yeah. You need to
consoles with mods.
That's crazy. They basically built.
Not a lot of companies.
They built an infrastructure for mods inside the actual game.
Yeah,
that's so rare these days, man.
Yeah.
And
they don't charge for it.
No, they're not charging shit.
They're not telling you, okay, modders, here's your marketplace for your mods.
Which is
creation.
Which is probably why the modding scene has exploded since they released it. There's more than million.
First 24 hours, a million mods were downloaded.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy numbers. Mods are already kind of a niche thing, but million mods in one.
This is a game that is over a year old. A single player game over a year old. And after this patch, it had in 24 hours a million mods downloaded. That makes for what? At least 200,000 users?
Yes, it's crazy. And think about the absolutely amazing stuff that these modders are going to do with this.
There's you have the funny mods, which are always a part of the modding scenes. There's a mod that replaces all the, because in the game you can change the class of the NPCs that you travel with, like the story characters.
Yeah.
But you can't change the race because the race locked because it's part of the story.
Yeah.
Well, this mod changes all the races of those characters all to gnomes, and it gives them gnome names.
Oh my god!
Minthara is Minithara.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, the troll modes.
Astarion is Shortion. Stuff like that.
The troll modes are funny, but I'm talking about the real shit.
Bro, there's a mod that lets you unlimited party.
Oh my god!
You can take all of the companions together with you.
Oh, that's great. That's fucking great.
The fights are a steamroll. You're just steamrolling through the game.
That's some crazy. I'm waiting for the total conversions that will come out of it, man. Like they start using these powerful tools with making, like, I don't know, a Star Wars game or a Robocop game. I don't know, any other successful franchise you want to think about, and make it into like a huge CRPG game. Come on.
If this is simple enough, I haven't tried it. I haven't touched. I never modded in my life, right?
Yeah.
But back in the day, Neverwinter Nights.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Part of the selling point for the game was that after the game, you have an engine where you can build an environment you want with NPCs and the conversations and everything.
I remember that.
And this is the whole point was like DMs, D&D players. Here, you can create an adventure for your group.
Yeah.
So if you can, without too much hassle, do this with Baldur's Gate, essentially,
that was bad.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that was back when BioWare were BioWare and Obsidian were Obsidian, and
Yeah, I actually didn't. I never finished Neverwinter Nights, the game, because I had a problem with it.
Really? I actually loved it. I loved that game.
It really annoyed me that your party is a 2-person party.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with that. I remember that it worked for the game.
No, it didn't. If you wanted to pick locks and open chests, you had to have a sneaky character. You can't.
Oh, I see what
There's no balance,
Well, I played the game like so many decades ago, literally, that I actually don't remember a lot of it. But anyways, regarding Baldur's Gate 3, anything else you want to add about the mods? What's in exploding, basically, and the game itself, before we move on?
Sure, the mods are going to do what the mods are meant to do. And it's help them maintain the things that, they've moved on. They're working on 2 new projects.
2 new projects, from what I understand.
Yeah, 2 new projects.
Yeah, which I'm kind of worried about. I'm hoping they don't, like, what's the word in? I'm not sure what's the expression.
You're afraid they're way in over their head.
Yes. I think they kind of they got over their heads a bit with 2 projects in the same time, 2 big projects from what I understand, and also different projects from very different from Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, but they're also a very large company now.
I wouldn't say they're very large. They're like, how many? 200, 300?
More, I think. They have opened that Poland studio and also recruited a few tens.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still... Are
you sure both projects are large?
That's what I heard last time I checked. But
look, we don't know anything.
It's all rumors right now anyways. Yeah, nothing is confirmed.
There's nothing tangible we can add here.
Alright, man. I want to move on to the next story that, in my opinion... In my opinion, this is one of the biggest stories of the year, actually.
Oh, Sony.
We kind of saw this happening. We didn't saw it happen specifically because with this specific game, but we did see this coming when I heard, like, I am almost certain we covered this in one of our first short contents that we uploaded to the YouTube channel. Like, when we just started out, I think we talked about how Sony is going to invest in, like, 25 new live service shooter games, or just live service games.
But then Concord was already in development. They started on Concord
for sure.
When Overwatch exploded.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So then all the corpo light bulbs went crazy over there in Sony, and they were like, "I want that. Give me that.
Give me more of that."
And people were like, "Bro, that's gonna take 10 years to develop."
Don't care.
Like, I don't care. Develop it.
Do I need to fire you again? Make that. Give me it now.
Yeah. 10 years later, here's a game when that scene is already fucking dead.
10 years later, and $400 million $1 million. $400 million invested into this project by Sony, and it died within 2 weeks of coming out. They shut the servers within 2 weeks. This is historic. Nothing ever happened like this. I don't remember.
Bro, they had a closed beta and an open beta, and the open beta had less people than the closed beta.
Bro, when the game came out, they couldn't get to 1,000 online concurrent players. They couldn't even get to 1,000. This is a AAA production from a huge publisher. And it was the biggest failure, I think, maybe in gaming history, in AAA.
And we thought that Suicide Squad was the biggest failure.
No, not even close.
They're fighting this company, these AAA fucking corpos are actually, in competition with themselves about who fails better.
Bro, Suicide Squad cost only $200 million. in like 6 or 5 years of development. Nah,
So
no big
half the time, half the money.
no big deal. And it's still, by the way, it's still alive right now. There's like season
Alive,
2
sure.
or 2 something. Yeah. I mean, there's like
playing it fast and loose with the
there's
world
a few
alive.
there's a few hundred people playing it right now, bro. That's a lot more than Concord ever had. A few thousand, maybe even people. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, Concord is a huge failure, and the game looks exactly like Overwatch. It looks exactly the same.
How are DC Comics not mad at this? I mean, when they put a game like Suicide Squad that fails miserably, it shits all over the franchise.
We'll get to Warner Brothers later. We'll talk. Don't worry. We'll have our moment to shit about that shit, about those guys in a moment. I want to stick to Concord.
Yeah, sure.
We ain't done with Sony just yet, man. All right?
We only just started.
No, we only just started. Listen, I want to say something. I feel really, really bad for the developers of this game, okay?
Yes.
Because the game, while it's a disaster, when it comes to, you can tell that people did invest a lot of time in it, right? They put a lot of effort in it. Just the direction that they chose is terrible, and they
or given?
or given, maybe more likely. Let's be real here. And also,
you can see the corpo mistakes all over the development of this game.
The game, it's one of those games that looks like it tries to appeal to everybody. It's trying to...
So to nobody.
To nobody. Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly the problem. That's my problem with the new Dragon Age.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it's cartoonish and childish, and it's trying to... I don't know. Why do we have this serious, greedy world of Dragon Age have some of the characters look like they're like from a fucking cartoon? I don't get it.
They took a bright demon that used to be this immense, crazy fucking enemy.
Yes!
And now it looks like that thing you summon in World of Warcraft for the Warlocks, the purple thing.
What's the name of those
the
guys?
Purple tank?
What's the name of those guys with the fucking thingy on the head? Come on. Kunari? The Kunari?
Oh, with the horns.
The horns.
Kunari, yeah.
The Kunar?
Yeah, Kunari.
Yeah, Kunari. They were fucking badass in the previous games, man.
Such a totalitarian society they run.
Yes! They were violent and evil. And now did you see how they look in the new game? In the Veilguard, they look their forehead is like it what the fuck? It never stops. It keeps going, and then there's the horns in the end of the forehead.
Because they wanted to put helmets on.
Bro, they look like fucking cuddly Care Bears. What is this shit? What is this shit?
I wish they would have a broodmother character, to see in this new game. So you'd have a comparison between the old dark Dragon Age and the Kerber version.
How did we go from Sony to Dragon Age again? We can't keep it.
You can't say it's like Dragon Age, which is a sore spot for both of us, and think it's not going to trigger a conversation.
Yeah, but I think the point I was trying to make with bringing Dragon Age over to the Sony discussion is the whole industry is making these mistakes. They're trying to make games.
No, not the whole industry.
No, I mean
only the fucking corporate industry.
The AAA big companies that are trying to, most of them. Quadruple A. Ubisoft. In Ubisoft, it's quadruple, brother. The French do it different. So
we saw.
Yeah, we saw. That game also died pretty fast, didn't it? The pirate game, Skull and Bones. I think. Did they already shut down the servers? I'm not sure.
I think they're clinging to some corpse.
Yeah.
There's the poke in the corpse.
By the way, Ubisoft is also in the dumps right now. They're losing a lot of money.
Oh, their stock is in the dumps. Yeah.
The Star Wars Outlaw, the new game that came out,
Also
which they in their brilliance they didn't release on Steam because they're stupid. They released it on their shitty platform.
Oh, Uplay!
Yes, the Uplay Plus. Please give it the respect it deserves. It's Uplay
Sure.
Plus. The best service.
Just like the
in all of
triple A, it's quadruple A.
Yes, it's the quadruple service. Okay, I love it, even though I don't have it installed and never will have it installed on my fucking computer.
Look, Ubisoft is the kind of company that harbors sexual predators and...
I mean, it's the brothers. It's 5 brothers that are running this company.
I think the biggest name with it is Yves Guillemot.
Yeah, he's one of the 5 brothers. That's what I'm saying. The others are more in the shadows. But they
You're making like it Illuminati or something.
I mean, they
scheming in the shadows.
Listen, they have extremely talented developers over there. They made some of the best games that I played in the past. Ubisoft's respect in the gaming scene will always be there. Their legacy will always be there. But what they're doing in the last decade is very bad. Very, very bad in every direction.
I don't care if you're the best developer in the world or manager. If
I'm
you're
not
a
even
sexual predator, you need to be in jail.
I'm not even talking about that's like a given. That's like a no even. There's no need to even mention it because it's so obvious. You know what I mean? I'm talking
sure,
about. I'm just talking
shit
about
over Ubisoft.
Yeah. Terrible human beings. But I'm talking about the games, the actual games.
Yeah, they had talent. They dished out lots of good. Look, my daughter plays the Ubisoft game. It's
really?
fun. Yeah, Just Dance.
Oh, it's a Ubisoft game?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
One of the most biggest money grabbing schemes out there.
Wait, which one? How old? The biggest one? The eldest?
They all play it, but the oldest is the one that wanted it.
Yeah. How old is
Switch.
She? How old is she now?
It'll be 7.
7. So yeah, that sounds about right, age-wise. So is it fun? Is she enjoying it?
Yeah, it's a fun game. If
so
you like dancing.
Like I said, they have great games. To this day, I'm still saying they have a lot of talent in there, right?
Yeah.
But the direction that the heads of the company are taking is just wrong on every aspect there is.
The problem always starts in the same place, basically.
Yeah,
always
from the top.
No, but the reason, the top. It's not like those CEOs wake up in the morning and decide, okay, how am I going to fuck up my product today? This is not really what's going on. We like to laugh at it this way, yeah. But it always comes to the same thing. They are trying to squeeze the dollars into the maximum point possible from the game. And when you're trying to squeeze the dollars in the most maximum possible way, you have to give up on something. Your soul.
It's more than that.
One of them.
It's more than that. It's everything you just said. But how do they go about doing this, achieving this, trying to squeeze every dollar out of your?
Yeah, but
they try to chase the trends, right? Like every other company, like Sony with Concord.
Oh, monetize everything. Yeah, lots of stuff.
Yes, they're trying to monetize stuff that used to be free. They monetize the quality that you got for a fixed price.
Yeah, the sad thing is that the audiences today don't notice that it's not how it used to be. Only old fucks like us.
That's why, listen, part of the reason I wanted to start our YouTube and talk about this stuff is maybe, I don't know, even if one...
Because we got tired crying.
One younger guy, like even in his 30s or 20s, 30s not so much, in his 20s, okay? Listens to this and figures out how things were different back then compared to how it is today. Maybe it will make him, start figuring out that, no, you're not getting, not even close to what you used to get for much lower, by the way, prices. Let's not mention that. Games used to cost less as well.
Yeah.
But sure, let's say the inflation has hit all of us since COVID, right? It hit all the world. So, and wars and all of that shit. So prices go up, but the salary stays the same.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? This is not sustainable. This model of...
And then Sony decides to make a PS2 that costs $700.
Exactly. Thank you. Wasn't it $800?
Big diff.
It is 100 from 700 to 800. Still, it's even more money. It's even more money, man. It's crazy. Yeah, these companies are kind of losing touch with reality. All these huge corporations. We see it with Sony. We see it with Ubisoft. We see it with Blizzard and Activision and Warner Brothers. All these companies are losing touch with reality, and it's not sustainable. And you're seeing it with some of them. They're starting to lose a lot of money. Warner Brothers are losing a lot of money. I wanted to touch about it later, but we might as well just jump to it. They want to license franchises.
Yeah.
All the biggest franchises, they want to sell those franchises to the license of those franchises
Cut
to others.
Costs.
Yes, yeah. And to make money. They need money.
They lost out of money. This is cutting costs.
It's, from what I understand, they are trying, instead of capitalizing on the biggest franchises that they have some of the best franchises. They are Batman, Harry Potter, some of those games very, very successful.
Yeah.
Instead of pursuing something that was successful for them and making it even better, they decide to sell those properties to other companies because they need money bad right now.
Yeah, it's baffling.
Yes, there's no long-term. They don't think long-term. It's only short-term. They want perfect short-term. They don't care what happens a year from now.
It's again what I said. It's always the maximization of the profit.
Yes.
That is the problem. The whole reason these corporates started getting interest in the gaming world is when all the analysts said, look, games are exploding exponentially. This is one of the most growing markets in tech today. And then they say, okay, we want a piece of that shit. Why was it a growing market? Because it made good products that people liked. No, let's make shit products that make more money. That was going to work better.
I think that's what you're saying is correct, but let's say that's corporation like Amazon, right? Netflix, Apple, stuff like that. Sure. But you have corporations that didn't start as corporation. No, first of all, no corporation starts as a corporation. Everything starts as a small company. Yeah, but I'm talking. What I mean is those companies like EA, Activision, Ubisoft. They started very, very small.
Yes.
And there's a reason they got to be so huge because they were very successful at what they did, right? For many, many years.
No, but
eventually, they completely got detached.
Because you're thinking about these entities like they're human beings. like it's a person, like it's a character in an RPG.
No.
It's not. They
corporations is people.
At some point they got public, they have investors.
Yes.
When those investors were people that were only carrying in gaming because they liked gaming, or they had some kid that liked gaming, or someone regular gaming, the things were going fine. But when every analyst in the economic capitalist world started saying gaming is exploding and this is where you need to invest, all the investors in the world started pointing interest. And some of them don't know anything about gaming. All they know is the bottom fucking line.
Yes, and that whole process that you just explained kind of accelerated
in COVID.
In COVID,
yes.
All the money people. So look, people are shut down in their houses. They can go out all over the world.
But they can game.
They can game, and look at all the graphs. They're all look at how high the graphs are in the gaming world.
That's when live services were really successful.
Exactly. Live service games started sprouting like
people
fucking
bored,
mushrooms after rain.
Yeah, or for fucking days. Sorry.
Yes, and right now what you're seeing in the last 2 years is basically that bubble bursting.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing it burst in front of our eyes, and part of the fallout of that is basically all those people losing their jobs from all the industry, like thousands of people. Historic numbers, like record-breaking numbers of people losing their jobs.
You're talking this year, yeah?
I'm talking the last 2 years.
This year alone, from the beginning of the year, we're at the tens of thousands, 14,000 or something.
But it already...
No, 22,500.
I understand. What I'm saying is this thing started, or this snowball effect started already last year, like mid last year, near the mid to end of last year, and it cascaded into this year, and it's not slowing down, which is terrifying. In fact, Microsoft Xbox, didn't they just release another 2,000 employees? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, all the time.
Phil Spencer just talked about how they need to release some more people to make themselves more agile and nimble, whatever the fuck.
And then you talk to the Sony CEO and he says, it's not corporate, Sony ex-CEO, sorry. It's not corporate greed.
Oh my God.
This is the fluctuations of the market. They have to lay low for a year and drive an Uber.
Yeah, he said something like they should go to some remote place
and live on a beach for a year. Guy thinks he's in a fucking Minecraft game.
This is what I'm talking about.
Detached. The
from
fucking
reality.
Idiot. He's a fucking idiot.
They're all multi-billionaires.
Yeah.
That live in a different world from the rest of us. Let's keep it.
He can go live on a beach for generations and not worry about money.
While his own employees, are either starving for bread. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or looking for a new job because he fired them after they made him millions.
And he just gave them a solution. Go to Uber.
Yeah, go do some Uber.
Yeah, you're a top-notch developer. Being an Uber driver is exactly the culmination of your dream.
Exactly, and then people are surprised that so many game developers are leaving the industry and going to do something else.
Yeah,
they can make a lot more money and have a lot more job security going to be normal programmers of any high-tech company ever that isn't gaming.
No, but they're just reacting too emotionally. They just need to leave the US. Go to Poland.
Oh, you're being serious?
Yeah, the European gaming scene is different.
Yeah, very different. It's very different. First of all, it's not as expensive to live there. That's one thing.
Great.
The cost of living in Europe, specifically in Poland, which is an exploding
there's more laws that
protect you. EU laws protect you from shenanigans from the corporations.
And there's still lots of developers, lots of gaming companies there, lots of them.
Yes. What do you mean? More than a lot. There's like right now there's like a gold rush of gaming companies opening branches. Or even whole new companies in Poland.
Yeah, which are usually made from developers that just quit some huge corporation. You had a walkout in, I'm sorry, I don't remember the company. There was a falling out with the tiny developer. 25 developers walked out the entire fucking team of a development company and they started their own company.
Yeah. I just do think though that some of these terrible practices that we have in the US will be, and not just in the US by the way, like we just said, Ubisoft, it's France, it's Europe, so you have these issues in other places as well. And even in CD Projekt Red we heard some shenanigans with the Cyberpunk development. We heard about crunch, we heard about mismanagement. These issues are not unique to only USA or Canada or US Northern American developers, okay? It's a problem that you have in the gaming, what would you say, community sphere? I don't know.
Sure, but when did you have one of the CEOs of these European companies appear so detached in the media? Because we've had the Amazon game CEO say bullshit about acting, and we've had the Sony ex-CEO say this bullshit about layoffs like they're nothing.
Yes.
And there was a third one in the last month that they're fighting among themselves, like saying that
who's a more detached from reality.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
And these are all these companies are fucking in the US.
Yeah, that's true. So that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you think there's...
Sony is Asian originally.
I mean, Sony is a Japanese company, but they have
this is probably the US division.
They have a bunch of headquarters in America for sure. Sony acts like a Western company for about everything they do. Like you can say a lot of stuff about the Japanese developers, but their companies are, in my opinion, are managed a lot better. They're gaming companies, that is. Their bosses, their CEOs, they take responsibility when they fuck up. Yeah. A lot of times they take pay cuts, or they literally...
Or they leave the job.
They leave the job. They have responsibility there, like personal responsibility, which is something that you will not see in the West at all. Ever. If anything, when you hugely fail a project, you just get a golden parachute. You get a golden parachute and you move to ruin another company.
If you can roll the blame somewhere downhill, it's no problem.
I mean, look at what happened with Bobby Kotick. The guy came in, annihilated one of maybe the best gaming company ever.
One of the most endeared game company ever,
For sure. Turned it into a heartless, husk, corporate piece of shit with nothing inside.
The company made World of Warcraft. All you have to do is say you had a lush green environment somewhere, and then the fucking demons came.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, my friend. And you know, if you want to know what happened to Blizzard if you want to like conclude it in one sentence, just play Diablo 4 for 2 hours. Play that game. After you finish, forget about finish the campaign. The campaign is not bad. It's good for one run through. I enjoyed it. Sure. Yeah. Once you start playing the actual game, the actual gameplay loop that you're supposed to do, it's so empty and soulless. Behind the nice graphics and the good animations and the awesome sound and all that stuff that they always used to do good, Blizzard, there is no substance. There is nothing. There is literally emptiness. That's the only way I can describe it. It's soulless. You feel nothing. You play it and it's like you might as well be playing like
it's the never-ending
when you're at work and you play like one of those shitty card games of that Windows built in card games, you know, Sudoku or some shit, Solitaire, whatever. Yeah, that's how it feels.
Minesweeper.
And this wasn't the case with the previous Diablos at all. All of them had, so even Diablo 3 with all its issues, it had a soul into it. You felt it.
It's the never-ending story. You're fighting the nothing.
Yes. And I heard their Vessel of Hatred. That's their new expansion for Diablo 4 coming out.
You mean another vessel that is
a very fitting name. A very fitting name.
Empty vessel with nothing but intent.
Exactly. And our hatred towards it, because
hatred is an intent.
They're bringing stuff like mercenaries into it now. You can a feature that you had in Diablo back in Diablo 3 and maybe even Diablo 2. You had mercenaries in 2 as well.
You had that guy with the spear or that.
So they're bringing that's one of their exciting new features. A feature from 20 years ago. Great, good job, Blizzard. And it looks some new areas, new enemies.
This is like a company that invented the live service before the live service was invented. Well, even before World of Warcraft. Diablo 2, this is a game from the 90s, I think.
Yeah. Diablo 2, for sure. I think 98, 99, something
even
like
Diablo
that.
1.
I'll check.
Even Diablo 1 had end game. Like you would finish the game and then you would play online with people.
Exactly 2000. In the year 2000 it came out.
Yeah, but I'm not saying, even Diablo 1 had a lush community that played the game once they finished it online. You just play with people.
Because
the game run the dungeons.
Because
get better gear.
Because those games, even though they do the same thing, even though you do exactly the same thing, you just run around, kill stuff, get better gear. That's Diablo since ever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because there is something that is beyond the gameplay that I can't explain it. It's the little details. You can see the ones and zeros when you play Diablo 4. You can see the feedback loop. You can see the loop they want you to take. You can clearly see it. It's so bad. And in the previous Diablos, you don't see it. You know what I mean?
You're gonna hit the microphone with your hand.
You can't see it because it's hidden. It's hidden so well, and the way it's hidden behind gameplay, good gameplay, good animation, good everything that you have those things.
It's hidden behind fun. If you make the fucking gameplay fun, no one cares doing it again and again and again.
Yes, there were just very good games. You can tell the people who made them. The people who made those games, you can tell they enjoy playing it. You know what I mean? And that's something that the old Blizzard always used to say. They used to say, we make games that we want to play.
Exactly.
Such a simple concept.
Yeah, and then you get a game like Diablo 1 that people, single player game with, multiplayer mode, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
And people have been playing it for years.
Yeah. To this day, people still play Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. I'm not even talking about the resurrected Diablo 2. I'm talking about the OG Diablo.
You had guilds and everything.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and like you said, it was like a live service before live service was a thing. You're right, in a way. Like
if you had people engaging with it.
At least Diablo 3 was like that for sure.
I mean, Diablo 2, I would play daily. I would call my brother, call a friend. Hey, let's meet up. Diablo, get a lobby, just play together. Just the fact of playing together was so new that time. You didn't get it a lot. Then multiplayer was like those weird lobbies of Doom or Quake or...
Bro, we used to call each other with literally dial-in.
Yeah, dial-up.
Most people don't even know what we're talking about. If you're not 40 years old.
Hug the phone and your parents like, I want to use the phone!
Do you know how many times I played Major Mod and had my shit disconnected?
That's on BBS. That's on fucking local servers. Like people had those at home.
It doesn't matter.
The internet.
It doesn't matter. It still was on the dial-up, and if
I'm saying it's before the internet. You knew where you were calling. You knew in advance. You would connect directly to them.
We're so old. I can't believe we're talking about BBSs and modems.
It's like it wasn't like in internet today. People put the address like with you type it.
Yeah.
Then you would you'd call a phone number. You would call a phone number to connect to a server.
I'll be honest though, I kind of miss a lot of the old internet. Like today's internet, there's a lot of stuff that I hate a lot. Like I feel like today's internet feels very censored, very monitored, I feel like everything you do is being watched and everything you say.
That's not the internet's problem. This is the society's and the world's problem.
That's how the internet is the reflection of the society, in my opinion.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying because
you can't find anything.
Security becomes more complicated.
It's not just that. It's the way. It's like you said. It's all money. It's all based on money. Like look at Google search these days. Do you really find everything you look for these days on Google easily?
No, I find nothing I'm looking for.
That's exactly my issue. The things you find is whoever paid the most money.
Yeah, the fact that you do a search term and the first 10 results are fucking sponsored is
it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And even, you scroll past them easy. You do not find what you need. You find little articles.
That's not the shit that bothers me. The shit that bothers me is like your phone is listening to you and then Facebook gives you commercials according to shit you were saying.
Yeah, that's the privacy issue. I'm not even talking about that. That's like for sure an issue, for sure in today. But I'm talking about like the functionality is not as it used to be. Google is not doing its job. It used to be a search engine.
And now you have different search engines.
Yeah, you have like AI search engines, which also, by the way, are not
AIs. People still use good search engines like DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo also, by the way, right now is not working as it intended. By the way, do you know why? Because Google bought them out. Pretty much, yeah. This is another huge problem.
You can always use Bing.
I use Brave these days on some of the searches. Listen, I do find the stuff I need most of the time in Google, but if I want to find something that is even a little bit niche or like not as widespread or known, it's a problem. Usually the only way I can find it, if I add in the search, I add Reddit in the end, and I find a Reddit thread about it. That's how I find most solutions to most problems these days. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, this is why Reddit really is the front page of the internet.
Which is a problem also, because Reddit right now is being ran by another fucking asshole of a CEO who's looking to increase the revenue in any way possible. And it's also...
there's so many ways.
Oh, yeah. But
the second he does that, Reddit's gonna tank.
It's gonna die. And then I don't know how I'm going to find anything anymore on the internet. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding you.
It's gonna be like in the movies. Suddenly, the sun will rise and the birds will tweet and you will see people walking out of their houses because they can't fucking find anything online.
Bro!
And they're gonna realize there's a world outside the house.
Bro, I'm not even kidding you right now, okay? We don't usually do this in the podcast, especially not in the middle of the fucking podcast, but I don't care. If anyone is listening to this, and tell us I want you to tell us in the comments below, do you find what you look for these days in Google like you used to back like even 10 years ago?
Are you crazy? Are you trying to like engage with our community? Are you mad?
In the podcast as well, like that, or like our least popular content by far.
No one is reaching this part.
I don't care, even if it's our guys.
Your dad is gonna write.
Bro, I don't care if it's our boys listening to this. I want them to.
It's gonna be only your dad.
Let me know what the fuck do you want from my dad.
He's the only one who's gonna comment. He's gonna say, "No, I can't find anything on Google."
No, he doesn't listen to this shit either. Anyways, I can't believe we jumped to like 1,000 subjects since Concord, but it's all basically the same. It's basically the same bubble of like the internet and the gaming industry. They're all going to shit because greedy people who are just want to make more money and don't care whatever they run over or ruin in the process of making that money, basically. It's a shame it's going like that, and this emphasizes how rare it is to have companies like Larian Studios these days. Back to BG3. They're a unique company, and I hope they won't also become too big for their own good and start, as long as they're privately owned and not go public, I think we'll be fine. But you don't know. Did
CDP go public?
I think they did. They are public. It does make sense that they are public with the way they handled
that's why I asked.
The Cyberpunk development.
Because they started the indie nice company that people liked.
No, there were nice companies before them. They were just the European.
I didn't say they started the trend. They said they started as a company that was
they basically
not a greedy scum.
Ubisoft used to be like CD Projekt. Used to be an awesome company. Not too big, not too greedy. I don't know, maybe they started probably as private and then got bought. But CD Projekt, they are, I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, they did a good job with the Phantom, I forgot the name of the expansion for Cyberpunk. It's a very good.
Phantom Liberty.
Phantom Liberty, thank you. It's very, very good. I really recommend you. Maybe that's what you should play.
I actually just uninstalled Cyberpunk yesterday.
Really? You might consider playing the expansion. They even allow you to jump.
There's so many games I want to play, bro.
Yeah, but you really loved Cyberpunk.
Sure, but because I completed the game playing the.
Yeah, I get it. Anyways, yeah. So CD Projekt Red right now they seem decent, but again we saw some red flags.
No, they are not what they were before, but.
We'll see though.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. They're still a good company. I can't say they're not because Phantom Liberty was a very good expansion.
Look, in today's climate in the game industry, there's lots of indie companies that I trust more.
Yes.
If they publish a game, I trust more their product in advance than I do all of these AAA companies now. If Theon puts out a game, Rebellion puts out a game, Larian puts out a game, Warhorse puts out a game, I have confidence.
Yes.
I have confidence.
I mean, when you say confidence, even though you know that even if the games themselves will come out and be janky, which a lot of them do, they will be janky
or be not for me
and buggy and
even
stuff
if
like
I will see that they are not for me.
Yes.
I will recognize that they are quality products
and that they care about them and they try to fix them. And
with mind for detail, not for money.
Yes. Yeah, and also you see with the bigger companies, you see the big games that come out these days. Yeah, this is another thing that the younger audience won't even understand. Back then, when a game came out, it was a complete game. You got a complete game for what you paid for.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe it will have a patch come out like a few months later, which by the way was pretty rare. But even if you remember, patches used to be relatively...
There's no internet. How are they gonna patch?
No, even when there was in internet, it was relatively rare to see a patch. As long as you were still buying the games, physical copies of the game, I don't remember having to go and download the patch for the game that I've bought the physical copy of.
No,
too often.
It would happen.
It happened, but it's not like today.
If you were a gamer or someone who's actually into games a lot, then that's what you would do. If you would get a physical, then you'd go to the site of the company and see what the latest version manually and do
Sure, but the game, most of the times the games would work right out of the bag. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They'd work.
Mostly work.
Well, yeah, they'd be working. They'd be decent. You wouldn't have to worry about 1,000 new patches being implemented because the game isn't really ready and came out not ready like it is today most of the time.
Yeah.
Literally most games that come out today come out feature incomplete. Even
look.
Even wait. Even Space Marine 2, which is a game both of us want to play. it hasn't even gotten ultra wide support, okay, which is basic in a lot of games today. A lot of games that's like it doesn't even have an FOV slider.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they say that this is by design. They say that the game it's a third-person game. It's a third-person game, not a first-person. And the FOV that they have is the game is extremely cinematic. If they change the FOV, it will break it. I actually believe
that's
that.
fine. Okay, that's okay.
That makes sense. If it was a first-person shooter, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But third-person shooter, in the way this game is, like it's over your shoulder all the time. I get it. But there's no excuse for no ultra-wide support, with all due respect. Especially when they know they can release a patch a month from now or whenever it comes out that will have it. Like, it's something that they can easily implement. They just said, okay, this game is good enough. Let's release it like this. And this is the mentality of today. All developers, even the good developers, even Baldur's Gate 3 had a lot of issues when it came out. I personally played it right when it came out, and without all the patches that fixed it, and it had plenty of issues. So bugs and stuff, was still very impressive, extremely impressive, but you had a lot of issues, especially performance issues that they fixed since then. So today it's became like standard to not release the complete game. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Because we're old. We discussed it before. We look at the past through a very positive angle.
Rose-tinted colored.
You look at the past and you are optimizing it. You look at the good stuff.
Sure.
Games were coming out in a mess even then.
Sure.
Bugs and all kinds of stuff. And tutorials were not a thing. You wouldn't even know how to play the game. And the books were not good enough. You could get stuck on shit. And, game development had its issues back then.
Of course.
Okay?
Of course.
And you didn't have the internet to find solutions. Yeah?
That's part of why the accessibility of the internet is part of the problem. It's what made developers rely on the ability to easily release a patch.
Let me finish. You could see that there was a passion behind these games back then because being a game developer was not known to be a very profitable, career venue.
Even today, unfortunately.
That's because if you're good, you can make money. It's just that the shit companies are like that.
Yes.
Okay?
Greedy.
Yeah. But back then, it's not like, people who say they worked in video game development, people would look at them and was like, why? This was not known as a very lucrative market.
Not back then.
Okay?
No.
So the people who worked at it is the people that had a very big passion about it. They wanted to make games. This is something that burned in them. It's like teachers,
I think you have people who...
Today, of course, but back then this was a much bigger chunk of who worked in it.
Again,
and then when you make the product, it's your baby. You want it to be good, and you put a lot of soul and effort into it. It was different, and I will say something else. Game development today is much more complicated. You have a much larger array of hardwares and consoles, and you need optimization and technologies. And if you want to optimize to everything and you want to cater to all the crowds, plus different operating systems, all kinds of shit, game development today is more complicated. And because it's more complicated, getting a good product out that has no glitches, no bugs, no problems is much more complicated than then.
I can see what you're saying, but I also think they have a lot more tools. A lot more powerful tools to create with these days, right? So I think it kind of balances itself out a bit. But I agree what you're saying.
Look, you can see companies that are really lazy, like Bethesda, okay? Yes. And you can see companies that are less lazy, sure.
Bethesda really is the laziest big company that I know. AAA company. They are the laziest.
It's not even laziest with fucking Starfield where they said, what? We can improve the engine or make the modding better? No. Let's fucking monetize it. That's where we need to put our effort.
If you want to talk about a really incomplete game, Starfield came out bare bones. That fucking game.
This is the next game I'll buy and play. Okay? Because
Starfield?
Yes, because I want to play it.
The next game?
But the criticism I'm reading about it, I want to see how I feel about it.
Interesting that's the one you choose. So Starfield, that's the next game on your playlist?
Either that or Space Marine 2.
Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
You're high as fuck, my friend.
Whatever. I'm not going to buy Starfield full price. No fucking way. Alright? That's not going to happen. Bethesda does not deserve... deserves the minimum amount of money I can give them.
Bethesda doesn't deserve any money. I'm sorry.
No, they do work on a game. They do publish something, all right? But they are lazy as fuck. They're doing the minimum possible to work on it. So they will get from me the minimum amount of money I can pay.
Listen, I'm going to play the fuck out of the new Doom, okay? And it is Bethesda published, but they didn't develop it. id Software developed it, and they do deserve my money. But
Bethesda's name taints it.
This is the problem. They're a publisher. So many publishers taint very good developers that they have under them. We talk about it all the time.
Hey, who you choose to work with is on you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you don't choose it though, right? If you're
if you're part of Embracer and they are your publisher, it's one thing. It is they are owned by Bethesda, right?
I think so, yeah.
If they're owned by them, there's no choice.
And Bethesda is owned by Microsoft, right?
Yeah,
it's like the big fish is eating the bigger fish, and the bigger fish is eating the bigger fish.
It's like
the smaller fish. Sorry,
like when you play a mobile game and then you get those fishdom commercials.
Yeah, it's exactly that. I'm just seeing the you know the
larger and larger
the
fish.
Graphic of the fish eating the smaller fish, getting eaten by a bigger fish. It's exactly like that. It's ridiculous what's going on in the industry right now. It's all consolidating into one huge fish, basically.
And then they say competition.
Yeah, right. Really, competition, right. As long as this completely unchecked, unregulated, brutal capitalism keeps going like this in the way... Listen, I love capitalism, okay? But not when it's completely unchecked, completely unregulated, with no bounds, no nothing, just make the green arrow go up and never go down, and that's it.
That's a specific type of capitalism. This is not the right kind of podcast to get into.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just gonna say I've read interesting articles by leading economists who basically say you can still have capitalism. You just have to change a few things, and you're gonna get a much more humane model.
That's what I'm saying.
Things.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Just put a little bit of empathy into it. That's it. Just a little bit, not even a lot. Just a little, and everything will be better for everyone.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the very tippy top, which is probably why it's not going on. Why it's will never happen.
Look, 95% of the world's fund is in 5% of the population.
You see what I mean? That's exactly what I'm talking about. And as long as they're happy, they don't give a fuck. So why should they enact any change that flows downstairs to the regular folk?
Change will come from the bottom, 100%.
Anyways, let's move on.
I was just saying.
Yes?
Because you cut me off.
Yes?
Like a fish.
About what?
That there's no way I'm paying full price for a Bethesda game, only minimum price. And that is why I will wait for a sale. So either they publish widescreen for Space Marine, and then I'm going to get that one, because then we can play co-op. You're waiting for widescreen. And ultra widescreen.
Yeah.
Ultra. If there will be a sale for Bethesda before that, then I will play their games. What's the name of the Bethesda CEO?
Todd Howard.
Todd Howard?
Yeah.
So Todd, when you're listening to this podcast, because I know you are, you need to put a sale on it if you want me to play that game before I play Space Marines. Just so you know.
Saber Interactive, the guys who speaking of Space Marine 2, so they're the devs basically behind the Space Marine 2. From what I understand, they have some of the OG devs in the team from the original game, from the first game.
Which is why you had a nice thing for TB in the end.
Total Biscuit, the Total Biscuit tribute in the
credits.
In the credits, sorry, thank you. Saber Interactive are getting the Knights of the Old Republic license. That's their next project. I'm very happy about that.
Is that a specific license and not a Star Wars license?
I guess it is, because
that confuses me.
I think that's how. I mean, they buy it from Disney, right? Do they have to? Because Disney
owns Star Wars, but then
BioWare made the first Knights of the Old Republic, I think, right?
And maybe, but Obsidian also made some of those.
I think Obsidian made the second one. I think they might even.
Because Obsidian picked up lots of old BioWare titles.
Yes,
because they were big Black Isle. And Black Isle worked with BioWare.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the original, I can check of course, but I'm pretty sure the original KOTOR was made by BioWare.
Probably. And KOTOR 2 I think was Obsidian.
It gave me it's a town in Montenegro, bro. That's crazy. And a town named KOTOR, I didn't know that.
Bro, and the buildings look like from Star Wars.
No, it actually looks beautiful. Holy shit. It looks like a beautiful town. Anyways, yeah, KOTOR. Where is it? Knights of the Old Republic. There it is. There it is. BioWare. Yeah, develop Obsidian and Bah, look! All three of them.
And Saber.
Oh my god, Saber are like very old company, man.
So
it was a joint development.
Yeah, so Saber worked on the first KOTOR.
Holy shit!
So it's not just that they're going after the
license. We need to.
They're gonna go on this.
They have more history than I thought they do. I mean, really, they worked on the first fucking Knights of the Old Republic. Oh yeah, they're 23 years old. Holy crap!
Saber.
That's crazy.
Subsidiary. They're owned by a bigger.
They were used to be owned by Embracer, my friend. They were used to be owned by Embracer.
I hope they're not anymore.
They're not. They're not. And now they're owned by Focus Entertainment. But
Focus is owned by Embracer.
Are you sure about that?
Pretty sure.
You see what I mean? The fish eating the fish? It all connects. Anyways, yeah, Embracer Group! There you go, man. I can't believe it. You can't win. You can't win in today's gaming market, man. You just can't win.
Doesn't matter what game you buy, your money's gonna end up in
in some fucking dirty corporate.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna reach the devil either way.
Oh my god, bro, this is amazing. This I feel like this is the overarching theme of today's episode. Like,
no, wait, but Embracer was 20 to 24. From 24, it's Beacon Interactive.
Oh, so I was right. They were bought this year from someone else.
Who's Beacon? I don't know.
Let's see who's Beacon Interactive. We're doing some live investigative work here, boys. I'm sure this is
Google investigative work.
Yeah, I'm
who
sure
we just said is not gonna give you good results.
Exactly. Which is, by the way, like also ironic.
Yeah, no one knows who this game company is. The company down there, that one, Beacon. Yeah.
They don't have a wiki.
No,
for whatever reason.
This thing is a shadow company.
Invalid, rapidly going non-traditional defense contractor addressing national security needs. What?
Your apartment?
What the fuck is going on here, ma? Are you sure this is the same? What?
The United States Department of Defense just invested in video games?
Why am I seeing military choppers and stuff? What's going on here, boys? Why did we go down this rabbit hole? You see, I told you Google is useless. I told you.
Why is the defense contractor called Interactive? Beacon Interactive.
I don't know, bro. Embracer has officially sold Saber Interactive to Beacon Interactive, a company led by co-founder of Saber Interactive. Bro, what's going on today?
Why did they have to say Interactive 4 times in that sentence?
Influence gained, look at the comment. Influence gained, KOTOR. Influence lost, KOTOR. Oh, that's funny.
He's making fun of the game because he had that light dark thing.
Oh my god. Bro, this is ridiculous. It's all these companies getting bought and sold like fucking fish in the marketplace, man. It's crazy. Anyways, yes, they had some involvement in the original Knights of the Old Republic development, and they are getting the license
apparently
back.
Yeah,
so they apparently
incidentally
along with fucking BioWare and Obsidian. So yeah, listen, that was a great game, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes.
I don't think we ever talked about it.
Of course not.
But it was an amazing game, and the second one was
that game was out when we were teenagers,
and the second one was even better in my opinion.
Well, not teenagers, but young.
No, not teenager.
Yeah, 2000. No, that's the
bro. We are really old. We are really.
I'm looking at Saber. When was
2000? The game.
When was KOTOR?
2003.
Yeah, young adults.
I mean, I was in the army, bro.
Young adults, shut up.
Oh no. So it was 1 year before I joined the army, I think. No. Yeah. I was in the army. 2003. I was in the army, bro. Ridiculous.
How fucking old are you that you don't remember dates? Like when you joined the fucking army. Point is, we were young adults, not teenagers. That's it.
Calling me it's literally two old men ranting. That's what this podcast is, my friend. It's two old men ranting, okay? Alright, let's move on. Lightsabers. Why is there like a whole section?
No, but look, lightsaber is spelled with saber and not saber.
So your theory is incorrect, my friend. I think maybe Saber with E in the end is like the English, the royal English, the King's English way of saying it. Yeah, like UK. That's how they type it. It's like different from honor and honor. It's the same word, but you can type it in two different ways.
No, that's American English and English English.
That's what I'm talking. So maybe that's exactly the same thing with Saber, because I think
maybe.
I think the weapon originated in the UK. I think I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, bro. What does matter is I don't know how the fuck we went through on this journey. Saber Interactive, they're getting the Knights of the Old Republic license. That's their next project. They used to have some involvement with it, with the first original game.
Are they gonna call it KOTOR 3?
I don't know how they're going to call it. I don't know. But I hope they... I mean, the real question is, are they going to make it a RPG? Action RPG? Like the first game was? First game was
an action RPG.
Yeah, it was pretty much an...
It was a party-based RPG, come on, just like all the others.
Yeah,
RPGs.
But it was very combat heavy. Like combat was a huge part of huge part of the game. You're right that it was more an RPG. It was truly an RPG, for sure. But I'd call it like a RPG with heavy combat elements. And I loved it. I loved both of the Knights of the Old Republic games. I more remember the second one than the first one, because I played an evil character. It was very fun. And it's one of those first games that implemented the how your physical appearance changes by your choices. Like the more evil you are, the more evil choices you make. You can physically see your face become like darker. There's like under your eyes, there's like dark marks. You start making
the dark side.
You start looking like a mean son of a bitch by the end of it, which is great.
like a mean drugged son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And if you choose the light side, obviously you look like this pure goody two shoes guy. It's great. I love it.
You look like a warlock.
I don't know why this feature we don't see it in more games today. It's not like something that you see, but whatever. Anyways, I'm actually kind of excited about those. Even though we haven't played Space Marine 2 yet, it's definitely on our wish list. It's one of the better games of the year, according to a lot of sources that I personally trust. From how it looks, it just looks amazing in my opinion. So if they make a Knights of the Old Republic like an extremely action-heavy, like I don't know, like behind the shoulder, third-person kind of game, exactly like they made the Space Marine, I wouldn't hate that in the Star Wars world.
No,
like being a Jedi, destroying a bunch of fucking enemies with your
lightsaber. You take the same fucking game,
same formula,
same formula, third-person combat that is also
very immersive,
also melee, also ranged, and you just change the theme. From Space Marines to Jedi. And the enemies accordingly.
And still make it visceral. Make it still like, don't make it like, don't make it Star Wars for children. You know what I mean? Make it for for the older audience. That's what I mean.
For old fucks.
Like us, who enjoy violence in their fucking content, okay?
Who live vicariously through these fucking video games.
Yes! Especially you, with your kids. Now listen.
Hey, my kid was playing Minecraft this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
The 7-year-old?
Yeah.
Man, she's be turning into a real gamer.
I'm working very hard on that.
You're planting the seeds.
next thing I need to get her hooked on D&D. She's in the right age.
You're gonna have your own D&D group by.
Whoa!
You're gonna be DM
of D&D players and gaming needs hot girls. I am putting the seeds where they should be.
All right. Moving on. Did we say that Warner Brothers? We did mention that they're selling their licenses, right?
Yeah.
Because they wanna make money. Yeah, we talked about that.
The only thing that is to be added here, and this will make you put a timestamp, 2 more seconds about Warner Brothers or whatever.
Yeah, I hate you right now when I'm editing this. The timestamps, I'm hating on you right now. But yeah, let's keep it up. Keep going.
This is a prime example of a company that has a successful single-player game. And they're not saying, okay, let's capitalize on that. Let's make a sequel, make another good single-player experience. No, let's sell a franchise or try to monetize it and make it a live service. Yeah. No, it's successful as a single-player game. I'm talking about Hogwarts.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
By the way, I got a hot take for you. I don't know if it's a hot take. I mean, it is because the game is pretty successful, very successful. I didn't like it at all, the Hogwarts game. I played it and it's nice visually, I guess. Yeah, I guess. It does make you feel like you're in that fucking Harry Potter world, right?
That plagiarized the world, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But the game itself, very boring, in my opinion. Very, also, kind of feels soulless and empty. Hard to explain it. And I think this is a hot take, because I think most people will not agree with me on this. I think most people enjoyed it. but I found it very extremely repeatable and like it bored me very fast, very quickly. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't connect to the Harry Potter world so much.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Are you a fan of the Harry Potter universe?
I mean, I'm not a hater. I don't hate it. I enjoy the movies.
But are you a fan?
A fan? No, I wouldn't call myself a fan.
People who are a fan of the Harry Potter universe enjoy the immersion this game gives you of the Harry Potter universe.
But I feel like I'm looking at it as a game, okay? I'm trying to be more like...
Sure, it's not a game for you. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying even for if I was a fan, okay? Even if I was a fan of Harry Potter, I feel like there's so much more they could have done to make it feel more, the world to feel more alive and not so like... I can't explain it. It's like the NPCs, you can shoot at them and you can hit them and they won't react. Nothing happens.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it's real bad. Like the NPCs, they all have these very predictable patterns that they repeat.
Yeah.
It looks very artificial. Even though
it feels like Truman's Show.
Even though the art style is good, it's a beautiful looking game. It is. But something about it, even Diablo 4 is also a beautiful game. Visually. It's a very nice looking game.
Sure.
But once you start playing it, something feels off. Something just doesn't click there. And I feel...
Just like the Matrix.
I feel something with this game when I played... and I gave it a chance. I played it for more than 10 hours. I gave it a real chance.
Hogwarts.
Yes, Hogwarts, sorry.
Yeah.
Just didn't click for me at all. Now, sure, if I was a fan of the world, I probably would have given it another 10, 20 hours. But I feel like the result would be the same. I mean... It's the same if it was any other game that I enjoyed the franchise and I am a fan of it. If anything, it will make me criticize it even more if it's not good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
The gameplay loop is boring.
It's not very good. It's not very good. The world doesn't feel very alive.
No, but that's very immersion breaking what you're describing.
Yes.
When the NPCs are uninteractable in all manners, then you suddenly feel like this is a stage, you know? And
exactly. The game feels like a stage. That's perfect way to explain.
That's crap. Then,
yeah.
That's immersion breaking.
For me, I know for a lot of people it's enough. Obviously, the game is getting good reviews, huge sales. One of the most
like everything, it's a minus. But if you have enough pluses to weigh it down the other way and you enjoy it, sure.
I think it's just more of just like we said. I think it's more like there wasn't a game like that before ever that really got you into the world of Harry Potter in such a way. Yeah. It really gives you the illusion or the fantasy that everyone has who reads the books or sees the movies of being a student in Hogwarts, being a wizard who's being in training. That's exactly what it plays on, and it does that well. And I think
exactly.
But when you actually get into the nitty-gritty of it and you actually notice the gameplay, other than a pretty cool system of casting magic, they make it pretty creative and cool. This guy got into an impromptu review of the game.
But look, some people, this feeling is more than enough to keep them hooked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to say why it is successful. I'm trying to say why it did. I understand why it got the success that it got. I'm just saying that for me, this is not enough.
And you are the CEO of a company, and you have this game, and it is successful.
So you're gonna make another game exactly like the same, or probably bigger, but with maybe even less stuff because it's good enough for people.
No, if you're really decent CEO, what you do is you get all the people that made the game, you have a conference and you say, okay, let's see, what can you improve? What would you improve? How much money do you need to make a better version? Whatever, give me a timeline and then you go for it, sure.
You know what they wanted to do before they started to selling the franchise. They want to make it the next Harry Potter. They want to make it
live service game. Yeah, because their CEOs are morons.
That's my point. That's exactly my point. They always take the wrong lessons from success and failure, by the way. They take the wrong lessons from failure as well.
Look at Sony. Overwatch is successful. Let's make Concord.
You think Sony are going to learn from this 400 million disaster?
No, only the developers who get fired and lose their jobs learn from that.
Exactly. And hopefully the consumers, hopefully. To be honest,
no, the consumers don't learn because they get switched. The consumers who got burned by that are gonna warn the next generation of consumers, and those are gonna say, "No, you old fucks, you don't know anything."
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate this time. You're wrong on this one. This is not wrong. Listen, the consumers spoke with Concord. You can't tell me they didn't speak by completely ignoring the existence of this game, which is exactly what they did. This is them saying, "Nah, man, this is not what we want to play. You're completely off your rocker."
No, I think...
Why do I want to play a game with a fat woman in an armor suit? What?
Because when she sings, you know it's over.
Well, but where's the fantasy element of it? Why? You're supposed to play cool characters.
All of that shit is irrelevant. They made a game that has no market. Come on. No one is even playing Overwatch.
Oh, by the way.
The market of the 6-hero shooter is nearly dead. The only game that can get attention now, the only game that will get attention now is Marvel fucking Rivals. They want to compete with Marvel fucking Rivals?
Bro, but it's okay. Overwatch, didn't you hear? Overwatch gone back to 5 players.
Oh yeah, now it's gonna work.
Overwatch 2 is now back to 5 players, bro. It changes everything.
Yes.
You just said the 6-player games don't work, so it's okay. Blizzard found the new formula.
The CEO has had an epiphany.
To go back to the Overwatch 1. It's now even more Overwatch 1 than Overwatch 2, even more.
Wasn't it always 6?
No, it started as fucking 5. Did it start as 5? And then it went...
I don't remember anymore.
I'm pretty sure it started as 5, went to 6, and now it's back to 5. It went to 6 for Overwatch 2. That was one.
I don't know. I never played Overwatch 2. Blizzard against suck a lemon.
And you remember having 6 players in Overwatch?
Maybe it was 5. I don't remember anything.
I remember it always being like a tank or 2 tanks and like 2 DPS.
All I remember is playing Zarya.
Yeah, I remember it being 5 because 5 is like how you have it in MOBAs, and you have like the role of the tank.
No, didn't you always have 2, 2, and 2? The whole... Yeah.
Now you're fucking pissing me off. I need to
2
go...
2 DPS, 2 tanks, 2 healers.
In role queue, we started a game mode. Each team is treated to 2 support heroes, 2 damage heroes, and 1 tank.
Yeah,
that's 5.
Yeah.
That's 5. So that's how it started. It was 5. See? Fuck you.
Did Overwatch have 6 players per team?
No, it didn't. 2 teams of 6. What? No, this is just wrong. This is just wrong info right here.
2 teams with 6. If it was 5, maybe it was just in the beginning.
Bro, are you kidding me? Then why are they bringing it back to 5 again? I don't get it.
So you can fight on what will be the role that only gets 1...
Now I get why he left though. That's for sure.
Kaplan?
Jeff Kaplan, yeah.
He left pretty late though.
He left long before Overwatch 2 came out. He knew what's going on.
He was really like the darling poster boy of Overwatch.
He was. Literally he was, yeah. I don't know, bro. I don't even
know. It doesn't matter. Listen, Overwatch doesn't get a lot of attention now. Okay? 5 heroes, 6 heroes, it doesn't matter. There's no market for this game now.
Overwatch 2 is finally bringing back 6v6. So that means they were on 5v5. So okay, I see what you see. I see. So they started with 6v6. The first game was 6v6. And one of the changes they made with Overwatch 2, which is basically exactly the same game, is remove 6v6, make it 5v5. And it was so unsuccessful that they brought back 6v6. So it's basically Overwatch 1. You're playing Overwatch 1.
You were playing Overwatch 1 to begin with.
Yeah, but now it's even more Overwatch 1. There is literally no differences left.
It was never less Overwatch 1. Whoever called it a different game was a fanboy. He was lied to and he drank the Kool-Aid. Overwatch 2 is Overwatch 1.
The fact that we're even discussing this fucking shit, it's so bad. It's so bad, man. It just shows you how bad this company has fallen. Like, who in the right mind came up with the idea of launching Overwatch 2 and changing literally nothing? Just adding a few new heroes, maybe a new map or 2.
No, the beginning had
they said it's going to be heavy PvE.
Exactly. That's why that was the only fucking excuse they had for making Overwatch 2 is that it's going to be centered on single player narrative as well, story missions,
and 5v5. Both of those things didn't happen. Exactly. So it's Overwatch 1! It's Overwatch 1!
Exactly.
It's such... I don't know how the internet is not like making more of a noise over this shit. Because it's infuriating me even now talking about it and thinking about it. I mean, I remember being mad about it back then. I was whining about it to our group. But now that I'm thinking back at it, the internet should be extremely mad at how fucking stupid this shit is.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's such a disrespectful way to treat your community. They're like lying to you in such a blatant way. oh look, it's going to be a new game with a new PvE mode, and you can play 5v5. It's all different. There's new heroes, new maps. Yeah. Nothing changed in the engine. It's exactly the same engine. It's exactly the same game design. Everything is exactly the same. But it's Overwatch 2, and we're going to delete Overwatch 1 because it's not Overwatch 1. It's Overwatch 2.
Yeah, are you missing examples where all these companies are gaslighting you as a consumer?
Absolutely.
Look, this game is focused on characters. We only discovered now that our Magic is writing the story through characters. So this game will have a focus on characters. Other games that we did before, that was by mistake.
The action in the previous 3 Dragon Age games?
Yes, that was boring action.
That was shit.
Yes, now the combat will be interesting. It's engaging.
Dragon Age Origins, tactically pausing the game when you see a huge dragon in order to position your characters correctly according to their roles and abilities and strategize your next moves and turns. That's shit. I hate you if you like that.
But they have the same mechanic now! You look at the fucking gameplay of the combat and you can pause the fucking game to tell your other people what to do!
No, that's more fun because it's more action per minute.
How is that fucking more action per minute?
It's more fun
because I'm flailing my hands and I don't want to fucking hit the mic.
No, it's more fun because I can play it without activating my brain. It's more fun. I can just press the button. I press it more times until the enemy dies, and then I press it. I get ultimate. I have ultimate ability, so I press the different button. And then it makes explosion. And it makes nice explosion on screen.
Don't take part of all this toxic positivity. Okay? Being a fanboy that doesn't want to go on a blacklist of some company that doesn't deserve any fucking leeway, and then praising their games like joining on the gaslighting, lying to your audience that you're looking in. You see a naked king and you're saying, look at his beautiful clothes!
Bro, go into the Dragon Age latest videos that they released after they fired the marketing department from the first half of their release. The terrible trailer.
You want the ones that gave an exclusive interviews to a company that got shut down?
Yeah, no, they literally fired that department. They hired a new department that, to be honest, is much better. They released actually interesting stuff, info about the game, the actual gameplay, with narratives of the developers about the logic behind it.
Oh, you mean the videos that look like fucking cartoons, like you're watching Looney Tunes?
Yes, but at least they're showing you actual gameplay. And people, if you look at the comments, people... not the comments. It's getting more likes than dislikes. It actually has a lot of more likes, and it seems like there's hype around it. I'm reading Reddit posts, and people are saying, "Yeah, this is looking great. Yeah, I'm excited about this." And I'm just telling myself, what is going on? Are we watching the same trailer? Are we seeing the same thing here? Because this has nothing to do with BioWare's Dragon Age.
But that's exactly the thing. If you disconnect what you remember of the previous BioWares, and you just look at this as an RPG action game.
Sure. Then maybe it's a nice action, light RPG game. Sure.
I think you have more in the audience today that have not played the previous ones than the ones that did.
So that's exactly what the marketing people told BioWare, and that's why BioWare tried to make a game for everyone. Exactly, we're getting back.
No one.
And exactly, that's exactly what's going on here, because they're using the BioWare, they're using the Dragon Age name. The name that me and you and many of our audience grew on up, right? The trilogy. Yeah, sure. The first game, everyone agrees it's the best one by far. Sure. But I enjoyed the second and third one as well, okay? Yes. And a lot of people did as well. It was still old BioWare. It was still heavy characters.
Lots of criticism, a lot of choices. But the pluses outweigh the minuses.
Yes, and I enjoyed the combat. Hey, man, I fucking enjoyed the combat in the second and third one.
I complained about the differences, but I enjoyed it.
Yes, when you look at it back, maybe I'm looking at it a bit more too positively, but I think it was to this day they are very good games. Okay, the third one, the biggest issue it had is like it felt too much like an MMO where they send you
the third one. Yeah.
Yes, they send you to Inquisition.
This is exactly one of the comments in our video. The guy says like he sees Veilguard, then he looks back at Inquisition and suddenly, have I judged you too harshly? You know, suddenly it looks in a good light.
It's 100% that. That's exactly. He's absolutely correct. I'm looking at the Inquisition with a lot more love now.
So this is classic. They, in the video that we discussed in our short content, they shit all over the past games, and what they do with this game is actually make them look better.
This is what I'm saying, man. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I don't get how people are buying it. Like, they're falling for it.
You don't know what was before.
But some people who did play previous games are really
exactly what Thanos understood. If he wants to make the universe again, he can't leave people that remember what it was.
Alright, let's move on. Deadlock. Valve's Deadlock.
Yeah.
I played it for exactly a minute and 30 seconds and I uninstalled it.
I expected something different. But you liked Heroes of the Storm, no?
Yeah, Heroes of the Storm, yeah, but that's a whole different game.
Yeah, in Deadlock, it's Heroes of the Storm only in first-person shooter.
It's more like Dota in first-person shooter, but yeah.
You had lanes and shit in Heroes, no? I haven't played. That's
you do, but again, because this is from Ice Frog, the guy the main designer and developer behind Dota 2.
Yeah.
This is the guy who's leading the charge on this game, so it has a lot of the same design philosophies, obviously. It's very overwhelming right off the bat. It's going to be a hard learning curve, this game.
Oh, I knew that immediately. This is why I'm staying away from it.
It's not as overwhelming as Dota because it's still a first-person shooter. A third-person shooter. In the end of the day, if you played Overwatch or any other looter shooter or team shooter, you know your mechanics pretty fast.
The skills are transferable.
Yes. However, there are the mechanics of Dota in there. I'm not even going to talk about it. Oops, sorry. Because I haven't
fucking called it.
Because I haven't gotten there. I haven't even gotten there. Okay? My immediate turn off from the game. It might be a very good game, by the way. I'm not even saying.
Oh, people that enjoyed the Dota thing enjoy it. I've heard people say good.
Yeah, I know because what I'm saying right now could trigger some of our listeners. I'm not saying it's a bad game at all. I haven't played it enough to even make that conclusion.
An hour and a half is nothing.
A minute and a half. It was a minute and a half.
You didn't even try a whole match?
No, I didn't even try a match. Let me get to it. I want to preface it before, so we won't get deleted from YouTube by angry people. Because Valve has a cult of people. I consider myself a Valve fan, right? Fanboy in a way, but
what? Every CS match we call them Mother Russia.
Nah, but we still play those games for years, come on, in the end of the day. So, but what I'm saying is, I'm trying to get to a point. I'm trying to say is that what killed the game for me, right off the bat, had nothing to do with the gameplay or anything like that. I didn't experience any of the gameplay. It was literally how it looks. The art design and
you hate
I absolutely...
You hate the cartoonish.
I detest it with every fiber of my body. It's so bad.
But you're the minority.
Again, it looks not different from a lot of other games.
Yeah, Overwatch.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't look different enough, in my opinion. The character design is cool and everything. Yeah, sure. I'm sure that if I got into it, I'll get into it. But the game design is I just don't like it. I don't like this style. The style that try to draw everyone and not appeal to it doesn't have enough of a style. You know what I mean? It's too general. It's too
generic.
Yes, too generic. Thank you. It looks too much like Overwatch and too much like Concord and too much like every other game like that came in the last 5 years, and it pisses me off. This is Valve. They have such talented animators and people. They can. Dota 2 doesn't look like League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm. It looks completely unique. Why couldn't they make this game look completely unique? Maybe it's too early to say it. Maybe, listen, it's not even out. The game is not even out. This is like a closed beta that only people who send it to their friends can play it, like the key. So maybe they will change this whole design, but I don't think so. I think this is how the game is going to look. Or they wouldn't release it to so many people, so many players. Like you have thousands. What do you mean thousands? You have 10 of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands playing this game right now.
Yeah.
Most people seem to like it.
Because they heavy semicolons call it the closed alpha.
Yeah, I mean it is. But,
it's not closed. You can invite whoever you want.
I know, but yeah, you can't get the game. They call it a closed beta, an open beta or whatever you want to call it would be that anyone can go and download it and play it right away. That's considered open. But I see what you're saying. I like it. I like the way they're doing it. It's smart, very smart. But again, the game could be amazing. I'm so turned off by how it looks. The fact that it's so, I mean, this is Valve. Why are they not able to distinguish themselves from everyone else with a different art style?
Look, it's a good thing that you're sitting down, because you need to be sitting down to get these news. Okay?
Don't you say it?
You're advanced in age. I don't want to put too much pressure on your heart.
Don't you fucking say it?
But you need to get used to it. This is the way things are going to be. Haven't you seen we've mentioned this a few times in this very recording, where they are making games for everyone. When you want to make a game for everyone, you use generic graphics, you use generic art style. And not even that, look at all these games that give you all kinds of brawler experience, okay?
Yeah.
Or Fortnite-esque, that island, whatever, what do you call that? King of the Hill.
Yeah.
They're making these things crossplay, not in who can play. What universe you bring your characters from.
Yes.
You want to be Darth Vader? No, go ahead. You want to be Spider-Man? Who gives a fuck if it doesn't match? You want to be a Care Bear? All the characters available in the world of media, you can choose to play from.
Yeah, like
There's no themes. There's no story. There's no canon. There's nothing. Let everyone play whatever the fuck they want. You want to be Pamela Anderson? Go ahead, play Pamela Anderson.
You know what started this phenomenon, right? Who started this shit?
Nintendo?
No, Fortnite.
Oh, sure.
Fortnite. They started making events. The game became so popular and so huge that a bunch of huge developers, franchises, people who have the rights for very, very successful franchises.
Give us some money. We want a piece of that.
Let's collaborate. Now listen. Very smart. For Fortnite, it works. For that game, it works. For that universe. Because that is not like a set universe. It's very open. You can do whatever you want with it. Almost like Minecraft. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it. With a game like Warzone, that is supposed to be a realistic, semi-realistic shooter, to see Spider-Man and Darth Vader chasing you around, it's a bit more problematic for me.
For you?
Yeah, I hate that shit.
But if some 14-year-old kid who has open access to his parents' credit cards because they don't know better, he buys whatever he wants. You won't believe the things, the cluelessness of the generic parent. I was a teacher in middle school.
Yeah.
All right. I talked to kids who would tell me they would buy, for Counter-Strike. He would use his parents' credit card that his parents wouldn't even know. He'd buy skins for a knife for $400.
Yeah, it's very
Spend
bad.
his parents' money like nothing. Like it was nothing.
Yeah, it's bad. It's very bad.
You have kids bankrupting their parents with FIFA.
But that's on the parents, man.
Exactly, I'm saying they're fucking clueless.
Yes, but there also should be rules protecting us from that kind of shit.
No, but there's CBRA or whatever it's called. They don't think they only have to put like a marker on the box that says it's not for kids or is for kids or whatever.
There's a similar problem with what's the fucking game that all the kids play today? All my fucking
Roblox?
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, you mean that kid slavery workshop? Yeah.
That's one of the issues. I also heard there's a bunch of sexual predators.
Of course.
In that fucking shit because it's an open marketplace. Anyone can insert stuff into it.
Yes.
And there's no regulation over it.
Why would there be?
So yeah, because they're making.
The ESRB is busy with losing your personal information.
They're making ridiculous amount of money from this stuff. And all my nephews and nieces play this shit.
Bro, I'm telling you, I've spoken with parents who I know because we have kids together in the school, and I fucking have to educate them about this.
This is crazy.
They're talking about Roblox, and I'm telling them, you understand that this is a predatory market?
I also tell my the parents of my
my child
brother and sister.
You know what? I get the response. My child is responsible.
Nah, I do trust. In my case, I do trust the parents of my. Obviously, I trust my sister and my brother. I trust them and their spouses how to.
They are being optimistic about what they think the internet.
I did my job. I told them about the dangers. I did my part. I can't raise their kids for them, even though I might want to sometimes. I can't do it. But to be honest, I'm a very lucky guy. I have a really good. I feel like the children of my family, from all my both my sister and my brother, great kids. Love them all. Anyways, let's move on.
Secret Level looks fucking good.
It does. It does.
You know who had a mini movie in Secret Level? Concord. There you go.
Bro,
that shit cost like half of their budget or something.
Bro, that's going to be the best episode. Are you kidding me? People are going to meme that shit. Crazy. What? Are you kidding me? People are going to love it.
Space Marines has an episode.
Oh, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. But yeah, the Concord one, you're going to see a lot of videos about it in YouTube for sure.
This makes me appreciate fucking Prime, bro. Amazon, at least Amazon Video, you know, Amazon, the production.
Not Amazon Games with the
exactly.
AI issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
But look, they're trying the niche places.
Yeah. They got
gaming shit and Lord of the Rings show, whatever. Even if it's shit.
Oh, it's shit.
At least they're trying.
The Lord of the Rings is terrible. The Rings of Power.
Season 1 I enjoyed.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Alright guys, that's all the time we have for you this day. Midgame, Life Crisis, we are out.
The channel is closing.
I need to re-examine my whole professional relationship with you, my friend. Oh my god. Fuck that show, bro. It's terrible. It's terrible. Are you kidding me?
I am really easy to please.
Yeah, apparently so. Bro, come on. Come on, man.
What you gonna say?
Not Martin, like fucking Tolkien, bro. Tolkien. He's rolling in the fucking
grave. You're gonna have the same. This is exactly the same discussion we had like a few episodes back when we talked about Star Wars. All right, in Disney. It's the same fucking shit.
He's rolling in his grave.
Is it a great show? No. Is it abysmal? No.
That's not a good way to look at it. I'm sorry. It's one of the most beloved books of all time. Also, that was also made into one of the most beloved trilogies of all time. And you're making this.
If you're okay with the fucking world of fucking Harry Potter, where J.K. Rowling just took elements from any fucking fantasy everywhere and just mishmashed it together into her own fucking thing, and this doesn't bother you, and you're telling me now that it bothers you that someone is making a slight change in the canonical world of Tolkien?
But didn't we say that I am not a fan of the Harry Potter universe?
Sure, but that thing existed long before that. And people ate it up.
I don't see your point.
The point is, this is done all the time. Why is it bothering you just specifically here?
What do you mean?
People take known franchises, known stories.
Because this is the first time that I see since you know what? The Hobbit movies were pretty shit as well. Let's be real here. The first one was okay, I guess.
I enjoyed them. Action, swords, CGI. What's not to like?
Then how do you distinguish then from what is good and what is better and what is bad and what is worse?
I don't understand. When we have one conversation, you telling me if I enjoyed it, then it's supposed to be ranked high in my book. And then I tell you no, because you can see if it's a good movie or not, but then the enjoyment is something else entirely. And now, when we talk about Lord of the Rings, for example, I tell you, listen, The Hobbit, maybe it's a bad movie, but I enjoyed it. So, by your book, I'm supposed to give it a high grade.
No, but
I enjoyed it.
But enjoying it is not the same as enjoying the original trilogy of Lord of the Rings. That there is a distinct. Have to be some difference.
Yes, there is a difference. The trilogy was much more epic.
Oh,
the soundtrack was better.
Thank you.
It had better.
It was a better product.
Yes,
it was much better product.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. That's my fucking point. And this is a bad product. The Rings of Power.
No, I don't. Oh,
it's good enough for you.
Yeah,
sure. But for fans of the original shit, most of them at least, like me. It's not good enough. It's shit.
Okay.
That's all my point is. Anyways, yeah, okay. I think that's all we got for today. Midgame Life Crisis. I'm Inconsistency.
I'm Werewolf.
See you guys. We're out.